Hey finders, and welcome back to Fortune Finds. Surprise, I left my camera charger and my spare battery at the shore house this weekend. I filmed the rest of this video using my camera and my microphone, so the quality is going to get better, so just bear with me. If you know nothing about me, I forget everything. I'm a little scatterbrained. I feel like every video in the intro, I'm like, guys, I forgot my microphone. Guys, I forgot my this, I forgot my that. I'm forgetting everything lately. I'm in a different room. Mike and I are rearranging our rooms upstairs. I am now in his closet room, which is soon to be my beauty room. It's a little bit bare, but it'll look cute down the road, somewhere along the line. Like my mom told me so graciously last night, Rome was not built in a day. Things take time, and so this beauty room will take time, but we will all get there. I cannot wait for it to be homey, super cute, and just very me. So yes, today, our video, what are we talking about? We are talking about minimalistic makeup. I have put together a little collection of beauty products, 8 beauty products to be exact, using 4 brushes and 1 sponge to do today's makeup look. Every day, the beauty industry is coming out with some beauty products. It's just there's so much available to us that I feel like sometimes the more options we have, the more crippling it can be. You want to make sure that you cover all the bases on how to do a full face of makeup, but you don't want to break the bank and you don't want to have to spend money on things that you don't necessarily need. We're just talking about what we need, and we're keeping it minimalist, which is also really eco-friendly. If you only buy what you need, then you don't waste products, you don't waste plastic, and I think that's great, and that's something that I can definitely get behind. Don't get me wrong, I like to review products for you guys. It's kind of like my job here on YouTube. So I personally will not be going the minimalist route, but I think it's great to sometimes have the option. Make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell before you leave. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. It's gonna push my content and my channel to other people so we can help bring people the knowledge and power of makeup, which I, for one, think is so important and so empowering, clearly, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't talk about makeup here on a weekly basis. So without further ado, let's hop into my minimalist makeup collection video. So I already filled in my brows, but I used a new product today. Rimmel sent me their new eyebrow pencil. This is their Brow Pro Micro 24-hour precision stroke pen, a dupe for the Glossier Brow Flick, but I don't really love it, to be honest. It kind of pilled a little bit in my brows up here. I feel like in real life, this brow doesn't look bald, but when I'm looking at the camera, it looks a little bald, so we might like not count this product because I think I'm gonna have to go over my brows in the end. Hate to start off a video negatively, but you guys know I always let you know what it is I have my hands in when I'm testing, trying, and yeah, this just like really didn't do it for me. NARS Sheer Glow foundation, and I am in the shade Light 4.5. What I didn't realize when buying this foundation is the fact that the pump is sold separately. The eco-friendly part of me really loves that, because it's like if I were a die-hard Sheer Glow fan, which I'm not so sure, I am testing, trying, and I'm actually gonna do a foundation wear test on this. Say I do love this foundation and I want to go ahead and continue buying it. I don't have to continue to buy a pump with it, saving that plastic that I would otherwise just keep repurchasing. I hate it right now because this is my first bottle of this ever, and I didn't buy it because I didn't realize that it didn't come with the pump. So I'm kind of just like getting it everywhere. And I'm gonna start off with a small amount. It's a small amount. I'm gonna try and keep my brushes to a minimum today as well. I'm applying this with an Hourglass foundation brush, and I'm just pushing this into the skin. Now, this is supposed to be a sheer coverage foundation. It is, however, a little bit buildable, but I'm gonna keep it sheer. I'm gonna keep it like a light coverage today because, you know, it's the summer. I just feel like we have tans now. We don't need as much coverage. And I think it's cute to have your freckles poke through a little bit. I am, however, going to put a little bit more on, and I'm going to apply it with a sponge this time. I get so many comments from you guys that you get so mad when I put on a lot of foundation. Like so many comments that are like, stop putting so much foundation on, you're caked up. I definitely think in the beginning of my beauty channel, I put too much foundation on, but I feel like that was kind of like the trend for a while, was like full coverage was like all the rage. Whereas now I like to go in with a light coverage of foundation and then build up that coverage with some concealer. Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. My under eye skin is a little complicated. Like I don't have a lot of lines, but It can be a little dry and it can be a little textured. I'm curious to see how this is going to apply today because I haven't used it in a while. So I don't know what it is. Like my Tarte Tape shade, sometimes it looks good on me, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what it is. It really depends on my skin. This concealer is a lot lighter than my complexion, so I am gonna use it sparingly because I do have a tan right now. What's up? What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a nap. Yeah, nap time. Could be like a big cat in the background.
You're like the biggest cat.
Right.
Are you really gonna stay there?
Please get out.
Well, I mean...
Alright.
I'm just gonna put a little bit more of that because my bags are very dark today. My circles are very dark today. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more right at the bottom of them. And I'm just pushing this in using a damp beauty sponge. This is a Real Techniques sponge. Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Versatile Chestnut, a product that you can use on your lips, on your eyes, pretty much all over your face. So instead of going in with a crease shade, I'm just going to use this as the shade, and I'm going to show you guys just like how great this blends out, and I'm going to kind of just like wing it out like this. And I'm also going to put some underneath my eye. So I'm basically just like framing the eye and building up that shape that I want. You guys know I like to do like a cat eye. And you can see I have folds. So here is my natural crease, and then when I open my eye, it kind of disappears. So I'm bringing this shade a little bit above the crease. If you don't have folds in your eyes, then you can literally just put it in your crease. Our second brush of the day, this is the Sephora Pro Crease 19, kind of just like a tapered blending brush, so it comes to a point. Push this into the skin and blend it out. You guys are gonna see, like, look, I really didn't even need to blend that out that much, and it just blends out to perfection. And this is such a versatile color. I feel like this will look good on people of various skin tones. It's like a perfect brownish, leaning a little bit red, but not too red for my complexion. I absolutely love this. This is In the Balm of Your Hands, The Greatest Hits Volume 2 bronzer. These three are blushes, but you can use them as eyeshadows as well. You can also use this as an eyeshadow. And then up here, these four are eyeshadows, and then this one is a highlighter. So I have just been using the crap out of this for the last 4 weeks. It covers so many steps in my beauty routine: bronzer, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter. I mean, really, how much more do you need? Taking that same brush, I'm gonna hop into this bronzer shade, and I'm gonna use this as an eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna place this over the crease, just like this, and just going back and forth. I'm literally putting this everywhere. I just put that Makeup Forever pencil, just going over it, pushing the sides out just to give that lifted like cat eye effect. Now to deepen out the outer third, I'm gonna hop into Meet Matrimony. This is a shadow liner. You can literally use this for whatever. If you want to use it as a liner, I would just use an angled brush. I would spritz the angled brush, press it in here, and it's really gonna give you a lot of pigment. But for right now, I'm just gonna use this brush that we've been using, and I'm just gonna poke this in the outer third of the eye, and I'm kind of like pushing this in with the brush and then feathering it out. And then what's ever left over on my brush, which is not much at this point, I'm just gonna bring it into the inner corner like that, just for blending purposes. So we're kind of like laying down the pigment with this brush and then also blending it out. And this brush is really great for that because it is so tapered. It has such a nice point on the end of it that it can be precise, but it can also blend because it is meant to be a blending brush. And then what's ever left, I'm running it underneath the eye, underneath the eye. And now this is what I like to call like the perfect frame. So crease, outer third, creating a little bit of depth, and then you can literally do whatever you want. You could throw blue all over your eye, green all over your eye, because this framework is done so it gives you that depth and dimension. Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows in the shade Rose Gold Retro. Okay, I'm gonna keep this to the inner third, and then we'll use a different one because I'm really running out of this. There's like nothing in here, and I probably should have realized that before I chose it, but I love this product so much. So let's move on to Smoky Storm. Let's see if I have a little bit more in this one. Throwing this all over the lid, and I'm bringing that to the outer third of the eye. And I find when you're going for a minimalist look, it's always really great to have a glitter product like this. That glitter just makes it so much fun without really having to spend too much time on your eyes. So see, we threw that glitter on and it just really brought our look to the next level. Now that we have that glitter on though, I'm kind of noticing that I need to make the outer third a little bit darker. Same dark brown shade, and I'm just gonna pat that into the outer third. And I'm gonna try and not touch the glitter because I don't wanna fluff that glitter anywhere, but see how much better that looks now that it's a little bit darker. So I'm just using the tip of that brush to just precisely put that shadow down. And what I love about this shadow too is that there's no fallout at all. So I don't have to worry about it fluffing all over the base of my face. And these glitters, these Stila glitters that I put on as well, will literally stay on all day long. Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm just gonna use my Real Techniques sponge. This way I don't use another brush. I'm just gonna pat that underneath the eye to just set underneath the eye. And I can also use this powder to just help shape out that outer third. A little bit more pointy, a little bit more of a cat eye effect. Take what's ever left over, pat it on my head in between my brows, where I got a little oily, and that's really it. But I used like the lightest amount of powder using this lovely palette. I'm gonna hop into that same bronzer that we used in the crease of our eyes, cheek blush brush, but I love to use it for bronzer, so I'm just dipping it in here. I'm gonna go ahead and pat that into the skin and then gently buff that out and blend it out. Build up the hollows of my cheek. So I'm basically bronzing, which is contouring with bronzer. So I like to pat when I go in with the product, because if you go in just like brushing aggressively, you're definitely gonna run the risk of moving the foundation underneath. So you're setting the foundation in a patting motion, and then once it's set, you can go ahead and blend very gently. Once I have that in the areas where I want it concentrated to contour, I'm just gonna take what's ever left on my brush and just kind of like roll it everywhere to just give a more like bronzed look. If you feel like you want your face to be a little bit more contoured, I would take a little bit more of that bronzer and just pat it where you want that product to be a little bit more stark. Patting is going to put more pigment into your skin, so pat for the contour. And then brushing and fluffing is gonna give a more dispersed, lighter pigment. It's just all about pressure and the amount of pressure you're using. Down Boy, and this is a blush or a shadow. I'm gonna use the same brush that I just used. Again, we're keeping it minimalistic today, and I'm just gonna hop in here, and then I'm gonna pat that over my cheeks. Bring it over my nose. Ciate Triple Shot XXL Mascara. This is a great mascara that helps to lift my lashes without having to curl them. Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Versatile Chestnut again, and I'm just gonna line my lips with this. It's like a 90s vibe, I kind of like that. It's a little darker than I'm used to for the lips, but we'll let it rock. I'm not gonna let the brows rock though, because I think they look kind of atrocious. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's not count the Rimmel one because it just didn't work out for me. Billion Dollar Brows Universal Brow Pencil. And what's great about this pencil is that it's so creamy that it can literally go over anything. It can go over pomade, it can go over a brow gel. It's so creamy that it really doesn't fight with anything. I'm gonna go ahead and use my fourth brush, and this is my last and final brush that I'm gonna be using today, Mary Luminizer Highlighter. And I'm just gonna put this on the highest points of my cheeks using this brush. This is a Moda Pro BMX 265 Glow brush. And I'm literally just skimming that on the highest points of my cheeks. Look at that highlighter. It's so, so pretty. A little bit on the tip of my brush, and I'm gonna skim that underneath the brow bone just to give a pop of highlight right there. Put that in the inner corner. I would typically use a smaller brush, but since we're trying to be minimalistic, this will get the job done. Just this section of my nose, because that section of my nose tends to sit further back. So I want to bring it forward. All right, guys, and there we have it. This is the look that we created using 8 products, 4 brushes, and 1 sponge. So in case you doubted me and you didn't think I could be a minimalistic bitch, this is proof that I can be. I absolutely love all of these products. These have been the products that I have been using. Oh, there's some eyeshadow on my brow. Or is that the Rimmel brow product? I don't know, but I will never ever use that Rimmel brow product again. So not to be rude and mean, but it just, no, It's like flaking all over my face. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then do be sure to leave it a thumbs up down below. Leave me some love in the comments. Let me know what are some of your products, your staple products that you use all the time. What is a product that you need in your collection, and what is a product that you can live without? My sister and I have this ongoing conversation where it's like she cannot live without foundation, whereas I cannot live without concealer. How do you feel about that? Let me know down below. Make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell before you leave. I had a great time as always. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, Finders.